Well, hello, fabulous teachers. I'm so glad that you have joined in. Today, we are going to learn how to create a drag and drop interactive activity or slide. Now, this is actually the tutorial to the distance learning etiquette rules. So I had a lot of teachers asking me, how did you create that so that they can create an interactive drag and drop activity centered around or centered on the rules that you will need to teach your class when it comes to online learning. So instead of teaching in class rules, you're teaching on class rules. So let's get started. So some people like to teach you how to create the interactive Google Slides through Google Slides, but I like to start in Canva because it's a little bit easier for me. And the reason why is because when you create it in Slides, then you have to download it as a ping and then re-upload it back into Google Slides. Well, that was a little tedious for me because you have so many slides that you're creating. So it was easier for me to go on to Canva, go to school, and then go to presentations. And then I would click presentations, and then I would choose one of these templates. The reason why it's easier when you use a template is because you already have a series of slides already pre-created, and all you have to do is delete what's on it or substitute it or replace it with other images. So I'm just going to show you how to do a couple of slides, and then I'll show you the finished product. Now, the reason why you want to go to Canva first is because you don't want your students to be able to move around certain images. So I came on Canva and I only designed the images that I did not want them to be able to move around in Google Slides. And you will understand what I'm talking about once we get to the Google Slides. But I only create in Canva. I only design what I don't want them to be able to shift around and recreate the slide or the activity. So what you can do is you can easily, let's just take this one, say I wanted to use this slide. So this is just an example. So maybe I like these images here, so I'll keep it and I'll say distance learning rules, and then maybe I'll delete the date, so there's nothing there, and maybe I might put the title of my own school or just leave it blank. Okay, and it's really fun. If you watch some of my other videos, you'll see how to design a Canva template. And maybe I wanted a little color for this, so I'll just change the colors for some of these and say every hat will be purple and every crayon will be pink. So I'm just showing you how easy it is to just come in here and use some of the items they already have and maybe just recolor some things. Okay, so I'm just going to stop right there, and then maybe I want to put in my Bitmoji, which you should want to do because your Bitmoji is supposed to be your virtual teacher when they see their activities. So what you'll do is you'll go to your Bitmoji, you'll click on an image or you'll type in something. Maybe I'll say distance learning, and oh wow, there's wonderful distance learnings, and you'll click and save image as. Once you save that image, you'll click and save image as. Once you click that image, you will go to uploads, and then you should be able to see your images here. And I'll just use this person because I really don't want, you could have used, here's the deal. You could have used this as your main title and put this in the center like I did. Or you can type in distance learning rules and use another Bitmoji image, Okay, so now you have your title page. Now I've showed you how to do the title page. Now you're going to go back to templates and let's click and use another page. Maybe I'll use this page. You click on another page and add as new page, and it will automatically scroll down. So what I want to do is clear off this entire page. And then you have your first rule. What is your first rule? Okay. What will that first rule be? So you would begin by asking them a question. So I'm going to go to the slides that I've actually created just to show you what I'm talking about. After I clear this off, it's taking a little bit longer. So you'll have a blank page. Even down here, you'll blank this out. Okay. And one more. So you'll blank this out. So you'll have a blank page, and you can always change the background. If you don't like this background, you can always change the background. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to go to my original one. This is my original one. I went ahead and put some elements in, and I made this my title page. And then I started the activity, and I typed in what is correct with a question mark. So I'll go back and show you how to do that. So you'll take text, and you'll just type in another word. What is correct? Okay. You can go to these little side circles, make it as large as you want. If you want to change the font, so you'll highlight it, and then you'll come up here to this font bar, and you'll choose whatever font you like. Okay. So I just changed it to that Frederica, or you can change it to Archivo, or Archivo, is that what it is? Yeah, Archivo. Or you can make it Galen. So you can say what is correct. And you can also change the color by highlighting it again and going to your color tab. So say you want that to be yellow. What is correct? Or white, like I did. Okay. And then if you want some little elements to go around it, you'll click Elements. And let's use some I've already used so I don't have to go searching. But you can search through the elements and say I want to put this little computer here. So what is correct? So they know that they are going to be learning about distance learning rules. So you have your first title page, and then you have your projected question, or the question that you want to ask them. So that you could set up the whole slides activity. Now on the second question, we had the instructions. Drag and drop where the student should be during online class. So you will do the same thing. You will hit templates, and you will either pick another template, or what I did is I just duplicated this template, and now as you see, you have it again. And duplicating made it very easy. You hit this little duplicate page icon. And that made it easier for me because I knew I did not want to put much on it. And from here on, you might want to just duplicate, because all you're going to do is put elements in. Now you will click text and write your direction. The direction is drag and drop. Okay, and let's go back to see what I wrote. Where the students should be during online class. Drag and drop where the students should be during online class. Okay, period. So I am going to decrease the size of that. Place this over here. I've already showed you how to change the coloring, so we're not going to go there. And you're going to either have, I think I had an image of a bed, so I would type in bed. Boom. And remember, it needs to say free unless you want to pay. And I put a bed here. Next, you will place in a chair. So you would go ahead and type in chair and hit return. And we'll use the same one that I used. We'll delete that later. And then you'll place in your chair and expand the size of it. And then you have your chair. Now remember, you're only putting in the elements that you don't want the children or your students to move around. So if you notice, the direction says drag and drop where the students or the student, it shouldn't say student, the student should be during online class, then you will then in Google Slides put an image of a student. But in Canva, you're only putting in the elements that you don't want to move. Okay, so with that said, you can go ahead, and I've showed you how to do the direction page, and I've showed you how to do the title and instructions. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, so you can just continue to copy and delete, change the instruction here, and change the images here. So that's what you will do for the rest of the slides. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. So I wrote the direction, I put in my elements, I would copy, and all I would do is change the direction and change the elements. So drag to the computer the correct button you should push before online class begins. Same thing. I would drag to the chair the correct behavior when it comes to class, when class begins. Okay, it should be a period. And then what you would do is you would just put in the elements that you don't want to move around. Okay, that's all you're doing. Now let's go to Google Slides. When you're done, you will then download and save your finished product however you want to design it. And when I was done, I just put an ending page with elements, and I played around with the text. I used this text font, and I went in elements and found this pinwheel, and I went to stickers and located a movable or a blinking word, okay, or an emoji sticker. Now the reason why I'm not going to go through each and every page is because in my other tutorials it actually shows you how to design a template. So you can go back and watch one of my other tutorials for Meet the Teacher, and it shows you how to design these templates. But once you're done designing the templates, okay, you will download, and then you will go to your Google Slides. Here is the Google Slides. Once you get to Google Slides, you will then import your slides or upload your slides here. Now, what I forgot to tell you is when you do download your Canva templates, you're going to download them as a PNG or a JPEG. It will put an MP4 video because that is the standard with these presentations, but you are going to download it as a PNG, and then you're going to go to your Google Slides and upload each image or upload the slides. Okay, you'll probably have to insert each slide because when you download it as a PNG, it's going to save it as an individual picture. So you'll have to go in and import your slides or insert image, upload it from the computer. Insert the image and upload it from the computer. Okay, so those are the two ways to import your slides. Once you import your slides, now you will go in and you will put in different elements from the slides. So let's go ahead and look at this slide. Okay, so now that you see a person in the slide, now you see a person. Well, how did I get that person in the slide? I went to Insert, Image, and search the web. And then what I did was I typed in a person sitting. So you can either insert from Google, or you can actually go off and type in clip art and insert a clip art. I hope that makes sense. You can insert from Google, okay, and you can find a real photo, and they'll give you animated or illustrated ones. But if you don't like any of the sitting students that you see or hear without the table, or a person sitting, you can go through and find, I'm not going to go through all of that because it will take too much time, but you can go through and insert image, search the web, or you can go to a place I like to go is pixabay.com, click on illustrations, and then you can say sitting student here. And then you can go through and find somebody that you like here. Okay? And that's one place to find. Or you can go through free clip art. Or you can even go on Canva and go in their elements and type in sitting student, download it, and then remove the background on removebg.com. And you can learn about that on my remove the background video. So now we're going to go back to Google Slides. Once you insert your clip art image, this is the one you want the children to be able to drag and drop. So you notice that? Now, they can't move the bed and they cannot move the chair. This is what I was talking about. You want to design in Canva what you do not want to move in your image, because you don't want the kids to be able to jumble up the activity. The words cannot move. The bed will not be able to move. The chair doesn't move. You see that? But the girl does. That's the only thing you want to move. You can even, I didn't talk about this, but I also fixated in my final slides an arrow at the bottom. Okay? You don't want that to move. Now, if you notice, here you'll have your X and your check mark. You can either put the X's inside Canva, or you could put the X's on here. But if you put the X's on here, they will move. I didn't go into it because I didn't want the video to be very long, because it would be if I try to design it. But you can also make a second slide where it has an X and it has a correct mark. I designed this in Canva because I did not want it to move. But if you don't mind your kids moving around the X's, you can just put an X in Google Slides. Same thing here. With the mute, I went to insert image and I searched the web for a mute button and a talk button. Because the computer does not move, the words do not move, my next does not move, but the mute button moves, and also the talk button moves. So I'm hoping that you can clearly understand. I'm hoping I'm giving a clear direction on how to create a drag and drop Google Slides. And then when you're done with designing all of your slides, okay, when you're done designing all of your slides, especially this one, the mask moves. You see that? But the girl does not move. The words do not move. You can create your own instructions and whatever elements you want to put in to teach them. Same thing. What should they be doing? Drag to the computer. What should you do while your teacher is teaching? And of course, you want to say listening. And this one kind of got jumbled up. You can fix that so that the drag and drop is easier. Okay. But you want to say listening. Okay. So then the all done. Nothing moves on my all done. Now remember, I'm going to slowly say that again. Let's walk through the steps slowly. You go to Canva. You click school. I've already clicked it. That's why it's already up. Then you're going to click on presentation. Canva, school, and then presentation will come up. You will click on presentation, and then it will give you templates. This is what it will look like. Then you can pick whatever templates you want. Now remember, in my other video I taught you that you can change up the templates. You can use a template from here, and here's one that already has a person sitting in it, but I don't think you can drag and drop it. But you can change the templates from here, and you can mix match your templates, because when you click on the template, it's just going to say add as a new page. So remember, you can use templates from any of these. You can mix match your templates. Then you're going to design your templates. The main buttons you're going to use is text, elements, and if you want to change the background. Those are your main buttons. You can design all of your images Then once you design all of your images, you will download as a PNG or a JPEG. Then you will go to Google Slides and you will upload all of your slide images in Google Slides, and then you will continue designing, and that's when you need to put in your movable elements. Your movable elements. Your movable elements, like this moves. Your movable elements. Your movable elements that you want the child or the student to move. Okay? You want your movable elements. And try to make sure that this square is small. For some reason, this resized it when I came in to show you. But really, when you are putting in your movable elements, the square, do you see this borderline square? It should be this small when the students go on. Because if it's overlapping, they won't be able to get to this image if they think it's that image. So you want it to be a small square around each image. And you can shrink it by going to the corner and making sure that that is that size. And it also depends on how you upload the image. But just make sure you have that small square around the image. Okay? And if you're having difficulty, just find an image that has the small square. And no need to try to go about trying to figure out how to make it a small square, but it works better when you have the small square image. Now, what you will do after that is you will download your whole file and save it, and then you will go to classwork. You will go to your classroom. You will go to classwork, and then you will go to create material. Give it a title. So you'll say distance learning activity. And then you will click add, and you will go to your Google Drive to get that activity. And then once you add it from Google Drive, you will click post. Okay, let's walk through that again. You will go from downloading it here, and then you will go, and when you download it, or when you save it, I think that's what I'm trying to say. When you save it, it automatically saves to your Google Drive. Then you will go to your classroom, your Google Classroom. You will click classwork. Then you will click create. And see, mine is already here. That's why I'm not going to do it again. And then you will click material. Some people think you're supposed to click assignment. I learned that you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to click material, put in the title, put in the description, and add. Maybe you can click assignment, but I was told not to click assignment. It was easier clicking material. I've never used the assignment because I was trained to click material instead. So maybe you can click assignment and see what happens, but I haven't done that yet. And after that, okay, so there you go. You know how to upload to your Google Classroom and an assignment, a drag and drop activity for your kids. If you want to record on it, then you can go back and watch my Meet the Teacher, and it teaches you how to go to Canva and duplicate, maybe, let's walk through it. 1, 2, 3 of each page. Then you will download it as an MP4. Hope I'm not confusing you. And then you will go to your screencast and record on it. Now, the reason why you should duplicate at least 3 pages of each slide is so that you have enough talking time when you do your voiceover. That's a whole nother video. This video was just showing you how to create the activity and upload it to your classroom. You can see how to do that on the Meet the Teacher video that I've created. But this video was just showing you how to design it, upload it to Google Slides, save it, automatically saves to Google Drive, and then assigning it to the classroom. Create it, download it as a ping, upload your images, finish designing, add in your clip art that you want movable, and then assigning it to the classroom. I hope this helped. I hope it wasn't too confusing. I like to repeat the instructions over and over again because that's how I learn. So I know it's probably helpful for some other people, because some tutorials I watch and they're going so fast and I'm like, okay, can you repeat that again? So I hope this helps. I hope it was easy to understand. We're only teaching you how to make the drag and drop activity and upload it to the classroom for the kids. This was not a video to teach you how to do the voiceover. If you want to learn how to do a voiceover for the activity, I suggest you watch the Meet the Teacher tutorial. Until next time, I hope you guys have a fabulous first day of school or first week of school if it has not started, where you show them these rules. Or I hope you have some amazing activities that you design for your students. So this teaches you how to design an activity overall, so it doesn't have to be a distance rules activity. Goodbye.